Hello and welcome back to the On the Slab Horror Show, the show that we bring to you each and every week. Why do I do this on a Friday night? Because Friday night is horror night. But these are my guests for the evening. They're the co-owners of Simpatico Pictures. It's Mr. Jake Kopronika and Celeste Blandon. How are yous?
Doing good. Doing good. Thanks, Greg, for having us on.
Thanks for
How are
taking the time
you?
out of your day to come on. I'm all right. I'm all right. But as it says, they're the co-owners of Simpatico Pictures. Um, Jake here is a director, an actor, and an all-round stagehand as well. Um,
Mhm.
as seen by everything he's done in the past and what IMDb tells us. You might recognize Celeste a bit more from the other side of the screen. Obviously, recently we had the episode with LC Cheney and Dan Carney come out about the newest upcoming one in Watchdog, and in one that I actually got to watch the other day as well with Tori Jones's Phantom Fun World, who both of you were a part of as well, weren't you?
Yes.
Yep, yep.
Yeah,
I
absolutely. I
acted
was
in
such a
there,
good slasher.
and then oh,
Thanks.
thank you. Did you spot Jake?
No,
He
well
was
then
in there
again,
3 times.
I didn't really know Jake until earlier on today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
Yeah,
met today.
yeah.
No, yeah. In Phantom Fun World, I'm in that very almost opening retro commercial from the 90s about the old Phantom Fun World. And
The
that
one with Ari
commercial,
Lehman.
yeah. At the end of the commercial, when all the kids are talking about like the Blue Ghost water race and everything, there's like a Phantom Fun World employee with a couple of kids that give the thumbs up. I like give them
With
toys
the
and then I have a
mustache.
mustache and long hair.
I have to go
I'm
back and
there.
check that out now.
Yeah, I'm there, and then I'm on the roof as a construction worker. There's two construction workers without shirts on that are on the roof hammering in the Phantom Fun World sign. I'm one of those guys.
And the other one you can't give away on the show because people have to go watch it.
Yeah, I'm
And
I'm like a
it's
victim.
awesome.
I'm like a victim that gets stabbed by somebody in the later parts of the movie.
Believe it or not, folks, people might actually die in that horror film. You'd never have
What?
guessed it. Never have guessed it in a slasher movie ever.
But my character necessarily isn't like a character that is a spoiler that I die. It's just like an basically a featured extra that just gets killed off randomly. So it's not really a spoiler that I die because I'm technically play three different people.
Yeah.
But which one dies?
Exactly.
Follow the card and see.
Yeah.
Um,
No,
but
but she's
we might as well start with Phantom Fun World. Um, but like as I says, I only seen it the other day. It was so fun, and you can see over your shoulder there, Jake, the picture of the mask. The mask was so badass. Oh, he's gonna take it
Yep.
down. Oh, he's on.
Oh no, I was
Yeah,
getting the printer paper out of the way, but yeah,
yeah.
that's LC Holt as the Phantom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that one surprised me when I looked it up on IMDb that they put him down straight off the bat as the Phantom. I was like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
it's a bit weird, but I was like, I dig it. I mean, it's a little throw to 80s kind of slashers, really, where you pretty much know who the killer is almost instantly.
Yeah.
So when I seen that on it, I was like, and I do like LC. LC's a good guy. He's been on the show a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we'll get on to LC. Obviously, you're in his newest upcoming project, but we'll get on to that one in a little while.
Yes, he spoke highly of you as well. He was trying to get me to be able to come for the Watchdog episode, but I was unavailable that day. But he was like,
That's
"You
not
got
good enough. That's not good enough.
He asked me
I,
like a couple days before. I was like, "Oh no, I've already got something, but I want to."
to be fair, it was we kind of scheduled it, and it was only I think it was 4 days later or something.
Okay.
And he was like, let me see who we can get on. So, and he had Dan. Dan's just an all round good guy,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
He
then
Love
is.
Dan.
and Cheney's just a legend.
Cheney
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
Me and him are
I,
from
I
the
wouldn't
same
want.
town, Ohio originally. He's still living up there, but I'm from his hometown. So me and
Oh
him
yeah, yeah.
connect. Yeah.
Yeah, and actually, funny story. The first movie that I was ever an extra in, Cheney was in, which was Haunt, and
Great movie.
so like it's a movie that's an Eli Roth movie, I believe.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's a great movie.
yeah. I loved it, and also it was just a really great experience on set. But it's crazy to think like I knew who he was from that movie, and then later on ending up working with him was super cool.
I was in the States golfing with my dad, my uncle, a couple of years ago when that I was in Walmart and I found it and I was like, "Ooh, new clown movie!" Because obviously the
Yeah,
box is the clown mask.
Yeah.
So I
yeah.
bought it. Couldn't watch it in the States. Brought it home to watch it, and I was sitting there after like 20 minutes going, "This isn't a clown movie." I was like, what a weird name for a clown movie, but it was really really good. Him and Damien Maffei were brilliant.
Yeah.
Um,
Sure.
and then obviously they've worked together quite a lot. But Cheney's been on the show. Cheney's their current record holder on the show at 3.
Oh, hey,
Yeah,
that's
we got
awesome.
him. We got him on before he went off to film Watchdog.
Nice.
Or was no, sorry, we got LC on before he went to film Watchdog. Then we got Cheney just after he filmed it, and then we got him on with Dan and LC, and then a couple of days later he came back on to just do himself. But
Nice.
yeah, he's the record holder at the minute, so.
Oh man, I'm coming for you, Chandy. Just
Oh
kidding.
man.
He's I know he's just at my opinion now at the minute he's probably the hottest prospect in indie horror.
Yeah, he's killing it. Well deserved.
I had said that it was David Howard Thornton after the likes of Terrifier, but I think that's moved now that little bit too far on to keep saying that. So
Yeah, it's hard to say.
I'm giving it to Cheney
Terrifier
now.
isn't indie horror anymore.
Yeah,
Such a
it's
household
like right
name.
on the.
It was phenomenal. But like I go back to Phantom Fun World. The killer looked badass. As I said, it was very 80s throw. It's literally you know what you're getting.
Yeah.
Now I'm not going to go into it too much because people mightn't have seen it as it's not out too long.
Yeah.
But I called it nearly straight from the start. I was like, yeah. Obviously the twist in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. I've just seen too many where I was like, oh no, it can't be just this. As I said, I don't want to get too much into it, but it was very fun. The kills were very creative.
I agree. There was one specifically I remember reading the script. I read that script a lot, and after a few reads I really started thinking to myself, how is this one particular one going to be pulled off? And I remember literally asking when we got on set, I'm like, so how are we going to pull this one kill off? Like, what's the plan for that one? And then they showed me and I was just blown away. I don't want to give away what that is, but
I'll ask you off screen which one it was.
Yes.
But as I said, it's very creative kills, very.
Is it one that's in the trailer? Because technically, there's a couple kills that are just actually spoiled in the trailer that I was really surprised. Because if you watch the trailer, there's I think 2 main kills that are shown in the trailer. So
yeah,
I went in blind. I didn't even watch the trailer.
Oh, didn't watch the trailer.
Nice.
I know I connected with Tori because obviously he has The Boy from Below coming out as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I connected with him to try and see if he wanted to pop on for a chat about that because obviously it's running quite well at the minute.
Yeah.
So I said I'd check this out as well. I like to do my homework along the way.
For sure.
And I was actually really gripped by that one. I thought it was so fun, and it's not often you get one that kind of, some of the indie ones. No offense to people, they can be there, and you just throw them on in the background. This one I found myself going, I'm really enjoying this one. I thought everyone played their character quite well. You were brilliant as the main. Spencer Madison was brilliant as the friend.
Yes.
Wes is just killing it at the minute as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Even to say working alongside a legend like Ari Lehman as well must have been great.
Yeah.
I don't know whether you might have had any scenes with him or if you were there when he was on set because
We were there. I was actually there with a tissue drying his sweat because the hot lights were on him, and I was trying to help out because I'm a makeup artist and do hair by trade. So I was like, hey, if you need some help just to make sure you're not shiny, I'm right there.
And I was I was there for his scenes doing sound, so I was the sound mixer during the Ari Lehman stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So we weren't in scenes with him, but we got to.
We were there and we worked with him. He was an interesting character to have on set.
He's hilarious.
I heard he's a nice guy.
He's a very nice guy. He's just like, his personality is very big. Like, he's a very one of a kind guy. So
yeah, awesome. Like I can honestly say he's not putting on much of a show. Like that's
just who he is. Yeah.
He's very vibrant and very larger than life. Just like you feel like you've met a movie character in real life.
Yeah.
Awesome. I know obviously he's well known in the horror community for being Jason in the first one, but like it wasn't really a Jason. It was 40 seconds maybe.
Not even that. Maybe like 3 seconds.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting it's the start of the second one when you see him more, isn't it?
Yeah, in the first one, it's just a very, spoilers if you guys haven't seen Friday the 13th.
1981. It's not a spoiler
well,
anymore, I don't think.
It's your fault if you haven't seen it, but yeah, he pops in at the very end. He literally pops in, or I guess he kind of pops in. Would be technically he pops out in the very second.
Ironically, that was the very first movie. There was a scene in that movie that actually terrified me. Do you remember Kevin Bacon's death scene in it? On the bed where the arrow comes up. I was terrified. Terrified. Like I watched Nightmare on Elm Street and loved it, and I watched the likes of The Exorcist and stuff. Nothing really bothered me, and then I seen that and I was like, no.
Oh man.
Can't mess with a man's bed like that.
Yeah.
Even though Johnny Depp got done badly in his one, but
that one was super cool though.
That's probably one of the most infamous deaths really in horror history.
Yeah, that was awesome.
But there was, as I said, there was a few good ones in this. I really enjoyed a good few of them. And I'll tell you off screen which one was my favorite. I don't want to go and say, oh, this person's thing. But we can move on to, obviously we mentioned LC earlier. In his newest upcoming one, he was nice enough to send me a screener for Watchdog.
Nice.
Yeah, and this is where me and you connected first, Celeste, on this one. Obviously you were saying LC tried to get you on for the episode that we did, but times didn't line up. But this I love this. This was, so I said to them it was like a hybrid home invasion kind of movie.
Yeah.
It's not actually a home invasion movie because they invite them in, but it's like it's see what you get. But the characters in this, the character arcs in this were brilliant. And again, working alongside two other legends in this one, and Felissa Rose and Mark Patton.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're meeting all the big horror stars now.
Yeah, and they were both such a joy to work with, honestly. Like, I had a great time on set with both of them. I'm very grateful for the opportunity. And just the opportunity to work with LC again, and in a different light, because we worked together on Phantom. But coming back and working under his direction was great. He's one of the best directors I've known and had the opportunity to work with. He really knows what he wants. And he really prepares.
Yeah.
And the writing was amazing. Just, all around a really great experience. Everything flowed really smoothly. Jake was the assistant director on that movie as well. And he's not only a great director, but he's a great assistant director too. And LC picked him through seeing him working hard on Phantom Fun World, and he was not in the AD position there, but he knew just from seeing him work on set, he was like, I think you would be a great AD for me. And it's crazy how it all came together, but that was the smoothest set I've ever been on in my life. No issues.
Yeah, we were wrapping early almost every night.
Yeah.
Like the first 5 or 6 days we had, if we had stuff scheduled on Wednesday, but it was Tuesday, we'd start pulling things from Wednesday because we already got everything done on Tuesday that we had scheduled.
So it's that's probably unlikely to happen in films, though. Really, is it?
Very unlikely. Yeah, that's why we kept thinking, like, what are we forgetting? Are we messing up? Like, what's going on? Why are we so on schedule right now?
So is that on the director and the assistant, or is that on the actors just being all around?
It's on all the
Everyone.
it's on all the above. You know?
Everyone, because like even things like every actor, especially like our main cast, we spent a lot of time together and stuff. Like when we first got there and like would run our lines, we had already had rehearsals and things like that online. But like I felt like we all knew what we were doing. We knew the characters inside and out. If someone kind of started to fall off a line or something, it's okay. It would get recovered because like we knew the characters so well that everyone knew what to do.
Yeah.
And then also all around, like all of the crew that was involved, they all knew what they were doing. They were all there to work and work hard. And yeah, it was really weird how smooth it was, because I feel like in indie film you normally don't have that.
It was very
Go ahead.
Yeah, it was just very well done in pre-production.
Yeah.
LC Holt knew what he wanted as a director. He was able to explain his vision to our director of photography, Jaron J. Lewis, who is a great DP. We've worked with him multiple times, a good friend of ours. And the three of us, LC, myself as the first assistant director, and then Jaron as the DP, had done a lot in pre-production of scheduling. We knew what scenes we were shooting on what days, how long they would roughly take. It was to our advantage that it was one location. It primarily takes place in their house, and we shot nights. So we knew that we could, start every night around 5 or 6 p.m. to set up, and then by the time it was dark, we'd shoot through the night and then sleep during the day. And so it was a lot of that, and it just ran like a well-oiled machine. Honestly, it was just, we knew what we were doing, what we needed to get done. There might have been a couple nights in the whole 2-week shoot where we got behind a little bit, but that's to be expected on film sets in general. So,
I mean, if you get behind on a couple of nights, but you're wrapping early on other ones, it kind of makes up for it, really, doesn't it?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, for sure.
It definitely helped because we started out wrapping early a lot, and then once we hit the night that it like set us back, it almost just put us back on schedule since we were ahead. And then when we fell behind, it just lined up.
I will say it was an unbelievable looking house too.
Yeah, very cool location.
Yeah.
Which it's funny. I don't know if LC had mentioned to you, but there was another house lined up at first. Something happened that fell through not long before we started shooting. So like, that was a house that just ended up coming to us not long before, actually. Yeah. So I think it really worked out because I really do feel like it was the perfect setting for the film.
It was perfect. You're not out of the way, but you were close enough that no one would hear probably the gunshot that goes off.
Yeah.
Again, spoiler alert, it's a horror film. Things happen.
Yeah, there's guns.
I don't want to go too much into it because obviously it's not released yet. Same way I had to hold my tongue when I was talking to the lads. But it was brilliant. They didn't tell me that the house had fallen through, but what they did tell me was that Mark Patton wasn't a fan of the interior decor.
Yeah. That was interesting.
Particularly, there are like these little people like climbing the wall in the background of some of the shots, like that are just like little statues. He was very bothered by those.
He was bothered by those in the stairs of the house. If you ever get Mark Patton on your show, or if you ever
I'm working on it.
ask him what he thought about the stairs awesome. And that, because apparently they're not up to code. I think Mark is very knowledgeable on like house codes and how houses should be built, and the stairs weren't wide enough to meet code. So he was like,
I said that when I was watching it. There was a scene where I think you're going up the stairs, and I was like, they look tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe it's just the camera work. I was like, those stairs look tiny. I was like, you wouldn't want to be fat walking up them stairs.
Yeah. I guess Mark didn't know what he was talking about. If you're noticing that.
Yeah. Well, I said that, but like that was me looking. I was like, that could be camera work or anything.
No. Yeah. They were small. People on set, complained about them. So.
But lovely location. I said to you in the thing, I thought you stole the show, as the main female in it.
Thank you.
Um, obviously Cheney was brilliant. Wes was phenomenal as his character. I think everyone done their part superbly, really. I thought Mark Patton's character was brilliant.
Yeah.
As the dad, he was so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to go too much into it because Elsie might actually strangle me.
Well,
You have to find me first, but he might strangle me.
he's either gonna shoot you with an arrow or stab you.
Stop.
Yeah.
You're back.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I got that reference. As the lamb mask.
Yeah. Yeah, we got him in Lamb Mask right here. This was a
That was a gift.
that was a gift from LC and Wes. On the left, it's like it's like a watchdog combo thing because we got Wes Robinson on the left from Blair Witch, and then a photo from LC
Well,
and
those
Lamb
are
Mask.
both Adam Wingard films.
They're both Adam Wingard films. Yeah.
Yeah. I tried to reach out to Adam as well, but man, that didn't go anywhere.
He's busy making that Godzilla stuff.
Fucking Godzilla.
Godzilla minus
Still
one
wet.
is. Have you seen Godzilla minus one yet?
I'm not a big Godzilla fan, although I
Me
think
neither.
creature
I'm not-
features are my thing, but
So this Godzilla minus one is more of a creature monster movie than it is a Godzilla movie.
oh.
I don't like Godzilla movies either. Or no, I don't want to say that. I'm not a big Godzilla fan, but I went to go see it just to go see it, and it's just a really good drama, like horror drama. Like if you can watch a movie in Japanese, like I'm okay with watching movies and reading subtitles and stuff. But it's a very good film.
I do like. I think Japanese do horror better than anybody else, but they don't get enough credit for it. See, I think a lot of their J horror is left to their folklore that a lot of people wouldn't know, and they're like, "What is going on here?" Obviously, we got The Ring, we got the Ringu that brought The Ring with the American remake, and then we got Ju-on made The Grudge. But there are some really good ones in there.
Yeah.
Like names evade me now, but I've watched. Like I do love watching J horror, and there's something about watching subtitled movies. Actually, I have a subtitled horror film for you if you haven't seen it. Did you watch Viking Wolf?
No.
Viking Wolf, no?
It's on Netflix. It came out in January last year.
Okay.
So you know the transformation scene in American Werewolf in London.
That's funny. We got that one signed.
Griffin, dude.
Yeah, that's an
Who is
American
it?
Werewolf in London.
We have
David, is it?
Griffin.
Griffin.
Griffin Dunn.
Griffin Dunn. Yeah.
Nice. So the transformation in Viking Wolf is about as close as you're going to get to Rick Baker's American Werewolf.
Ooh,
Oh,
that's cool.
It is awesome. I had it as like the 5th or 6th best movie of the year last year for me.
Okay.
That's awesome. Huh, we're have to check that out.
Yeah. Very, very good. But seeing as you have an American Werewolf, I'll ask you an old question that we used to do guests because it was a divisive question on this show between which one's better. Have you seen Dog Soldiers?
Soldiers.
No.
Never mind. Can't ask the question. So, Dog Soldiers is the greatest werewolf movie ever made.
Oh, dang.
Just saying. Made by Neil Marshall, who made Hellboy, and
Gotcha.
you know who Neil Marshall is. He's a UK director.
I think my favorite werewolf movie ever made is Twilight.
You'd match the King there. King loves Twilight. Don't you, Carl? You'll get that joke now when he's
Team
editing
Jacob
this.
all the way.
Yeah, good luck with that. I watched them once and I haven't put them back on. I'd as much sit and watch Harry Potter than I would watch them.
No, yeah. I agree. Harry Potter's great.
No, it's not.
Oh.
No, I'm not a big Harry Potter guy either. No, my missus.
I didn't start watching it until this year, and I've still only watched the first one.
Yeah, she's never seen Harry Potter.
My missus loves it, and my young lad is 7 now, and he wants to get into it. So we watched the first one there on New Year's Day.
Oh.
and I'm like, I don't really want to watch these again, but
But you'll do it
it
for
is what it
him.
is. Yeah. Although I had to watch Five Nights at Freddy's to see if it was okay for him to watch.
Uh-huh.
It was not.
It wasn't okay.
No.
Yeah,
That's sad.
we haven't seen Five Nights at
We
Freddy's
haven't
yet.
It's
watched
not
it
bad.
yet.
I knew nothing about it, so I just knew Matthew Lillard was in it and Josh Hutcherson was in it, and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
can't be that bad. It was
I
actually, it
need
was
to
all
give
right.
it a go. I keep
Yeah.
hearing good things about it, which I wasn't sure what to think. So we need to make that happen.
I've heard mixed
soon.
reviews.
Yeah, well, I went in knowing absolutely nothing. Nothing. Didn't know the
I've
game,
never
never played the game.
So-
Us either.
As in, how my 7-year-old knows about the game, I don't know. But that's for a different question. But as I said, we're getting sidetracked. So there are two big ones, obviously, that you've been in lately, Celeste and Jake. You've been obviously a part of both of them. So maybe we'll have a quick chat about your production company, in Simpatico Pictures. As before we came on here, I watched the short that you put out when the streetlights come on, and I loved it.
Thank you.
So do you want to tell us a little bit about it?
Sure. So back when the pandemic started, when COVID-19 came around, Celeste and I were living in Los Angeles as actors, and
So
that
you
was
were
just no, we weren't rich. We were
very poor due
we
to
were
that.
very poor. Living in a one bedroom basic studio that somebody turned their garage into.
Everything in one room.
Yeah.
Two people, one room, period.
Yeah, we weren't living very luxurious, but when the pandemic shut everything down and everybody went into lockdown or quarantine or whatever you want to call it, Celeste and I as actors were like, well, crap. Well, now we don't have any work. We don't have anything to do. So we decided to make like iPhone short films, just film ourselves with our tripods. And because what came from that was a lot of people making these like COVID film challenges or COVID film festivals where people were making stuff in quarantine or you couldn't leave your house and that kind of stuff. So we started making iPhone stuff with ourselves. And then through that, we came up with Simpatico Pictures as like the name to go under when we were submitting these films to things. And then we decided that we liked writing scripts together and making things together. So when the pandemic lifted and we came back to Ohio originally, because with the pandemic lasting as long as it did, it forced us to leave California. So we went back to our families in Ohio. And we knew a good amount of like the film community in Ohio. So we decided to, okay, let's make films too, and not just act in films. So we started making films in Ohio with some of the people we knew there. That was the Wonderland Diner was our first one that we consider our first film, which is on YouTube. It's the first one on our channel. So we made that first, and then afterwards we made a Scooby-Doo homage called Susie Q, Where Are You? And that was our second one that we made in Ohio. And then we moved down here to Atlanta after that, and then we've made a handful of them here in Atlanta that we're slowly releasing. There's a couple of them on YouTube right now, but we have about 5 or 6 that are not released yet. They're just doing film festivals, or they're just on the hard drive, because we want to release at least one short film per month. That's kind of our goal for 2024.
It's a big, but that's the goal.
It's somewhat achievable for us right now, since we already have about 5 or 6 of them done that are just waiting to be released. So as long as we film one thing a month while also releasing one thing a month, we should stay ahead of it.
Yeah, there's just a couple of them, especially there's one right now that we have to wait because it's going to Filmapalooza, because we won the 48-hour film project in Atlanta. We won the city, and then we also won Best Directing, Best Actress, and Best Use of the Line. So now it goes...
I've seen that picture. You're holding a whole lot of awards.
Yeah, it was crazy. We we ended up winning that. And now it's going to Lisbon, Portugal in March for Filmapalooza, which is all of the winners from all of the cities of the 48, which is
Nice.
probably like 200 cities or something, right?
It's
I
think it's like 120 or 130.
Okay.
Are
Different
they flying
films.
you over for it?
We're considering.
We don't know.
If we can come up with the money, then we want to go. And then I guess the top 25 films from that go to the Cannes Film Festival. So,
nice.
fingers crossed.
Nice. I know I recently done, well, not recently, it's a couple of months now, I done an interview with Devon Pin, whose movie Black Mass made it to the Cannes Film Festival.
Nice. Awesome.
If you said you like true crime, that's one to go and watch.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about Black Mass.
I've been hearing about that, yeah.
Now, don't mix that up with the Johnny Depp one. That was also a good movie.
Yeah.
No, I'm thinking the one you're thinking of because I know Brian keeps mentioning Black Mass to me.
It was, like, I wouldn't, as I says, I'm not into the likes of true crime and stuff, and for me, obviously, when we spoke off screen about when the streetlights came on, I told you what my point of view was on it.
Yeah.
So I'm normally sympathetic towards the killer. I found myself after an hour going, yeah, go with that guy. And then I sit there and thinking, I was like, wait, no, this actually happened to somebody. I was like, probably shouldn't be rooting for this guy. I don't want to give too much away, obviously, because it's a big thing in the movie. But if you get a chance to check it out, and a host of good talent in there as well. But yeah, so like it's making them in and around. It's just is what it is. So if you get the Cannes Film Festival, that's a hell of an achievement.
Yeah, it's the 48-hour film project, which has been a competition run around the world for the last 22 years or so. So it's been around for a while. And like she said, if you win your city, you go to Filmapalooza. And then if you're the top 25 in Filmapalooza, you go to Cannes. But it's not like you're going to Cannes as in, like, I submitted my film to that festival and it got in. It's more or less a section that whole thing holds, where it's like these are the 25 films from the 48-hour film project that were the best in the country. So it's like you stay in your separate. Yeah, you're not necessarily part of like the whole like, oh, my film played at Cannes. It's like we still played at the 48-hour film project that's like attached to Cannes, but it's still cool.
I mean to say, I have a short movie that I filmed and it got into Cannes Film Festival. You don't care where it got into Cannes Film Festival, you got into Cannes Film Festival. There's no there's no secondary thing to that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Impressive feat as it is.
Yeah,
and as I said, I haven't had a chance to check out. Obviously, we only lined up earlier on. But I'll have a check out of the other ones, and I'll attach the link to the YouTube page in the bio below, where people can go and check out the films. Sorry, I'm losing the train of thought here. Now you got me going because it's Cannes Film Festival.
Yeah. Well, if we get in, I mean that'll be really crazy. I hope we can go and see it and support the film and network and stuff. It'll be a great opportunity.
I mean, the amount of people you'd meet over there is something else.
For sure.
Like there's a lot of them good film festivals that run in and around Europe. Obviously, you have the big ones in the States as well. But like everyone kind of knows the Cannes Film Festival.
Yeah.
And the Sitges in Spain. They're obviously the big ones. And then obviously you've got what's the Hurricane in London, Fright Fest in London.
Yeah.
Sorry, Hurricane is the name of the convention. Do you know what I mean? So they're all the big ones that'll be around, and then obviously there's the Belgian one. Well, I can't think of the name of the Belgian one, but like for that to get into any of them is a hell of an achievement, especially for a short movie. And like you theoretically, I'd say running off a short movie, you're doing it with little to no budget anyway.
Right.
Oh yeah, and for these 48-hour films, you're not allowed to pay anyone. Like it's supposed to basically be no budget.
Yeah.
You're paying to enter the competition, and then you pay for whatever food you're providing your crew and stuff with. But everyone works for free.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
incredible that so many people like compete in this.
Yeah, we wish it.
That'll work. I mean, all you'd have to do is feed me, and I'd be happy.
Yeah, it's a good exercise to do. I mean, now that we've won one of them, it's kind of like once you start doing them, you get the goal of winning your city, and then to say that I want to continue doing competitions like that is far. I don't want to keep just only doing film challenges and 48-hour film projects. Eventually, we want to be able to get real budgets and make our own films. And we co-produced one feature last year called The House Among the Trees. I think we talked about it a little bit before we got on camera. So that's technically our first feature under Simpatico Pictures that we've produced. We hope to produce one in 2024
of our own.
I'm sure we'll still need people to co-produce with us, but definitely. As far as our Simpatico Pictures led film is hoping to get off the ground this year.
That's a hell of an achievement. Anyway, it's a hell of a dream to have, let alone to be able to bring into picture and then obviously into feature films. So fair play to you. It's a lot of hard work and dedication gone into doing it.
Thank you.
I don't even know how you go about doing that, but I'll leave that to you.
Neither do we.
We just kind of stumbled into it. Like we said, we just started filming our own stuff on our phones. Out of that's the silver lining I guess we got from COVID is Simpatico Pictures probably wouldn't exist if the world didn't shut down.
Yeah, because we wanted to.
I'm gonna put that out there before anyone says anything. They were making actual short movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not just filming stuff on iPhones during lockdown.
Yeah.
It's true.
You can find those on our YouTube page still too. They're hidden. Yeah, they're hidden, but if you dig deep enough, you can find the iPhone stuff. They're not on the main page, but I think if you go to like the playlists or something like that, you can go and find iPhone shorts, and there's about
I
5
think that
or 6.
joke kind of just went over your head, did it?
I'm sorry?
I think that joke that I made went over your heads.
Maybe. Yeah.
I don't know. I think so.
We're pretty we're pretty big airheads.
No. Some people, obviously, when I deal with a lot of people in the States, they don't get the Irish humor. When you said you were making short films on iPhones during lockdown, I was like, they're legitimate films. They're not other types of films.
OnlyFans, babe.
OnlyFans. I get it now.
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't a thing back then, but.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's the running joke in the film industry is like if you ever somebody who's trying to make a career in making movies and you tell your grandma, they're like, "Oh, you're making porn?" No, I'm shooting horror movies. I'm shooting horror movies, Grandma. We're not shooting porn.
It might as well be the same thing at some stages. I've seen some movies where it's pretty much just that.
Yeah, they kind of run in the same genre.
Yeah. Well, I mean, wasn't it Ginger Lynn went from porn to horror movies? I think she was the first real one to do it. Nudity and horror kind of just run side by side, doesn't it? For some reason or other.
Thanks to the 80s.
God bless the
70s. 70s and 80s.
But yeah, just before we finish up, Celeste, you put a picture up the other day. Where are your slippers?
Oh, they are right here. They are ready to see the world. These are the monster slippers.
Aren't they supposed to light up? There we go.
They do light up. Oh, there they are.
Nice.
Oh.
I don't know if you can see it on camera, but
they're epic. They're from Walmart.
They're from Walmart.
Which you probably have never been to Walmart, or have you?
No, yeah. You said you got.
I bought a haunt in Walmart.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Well, these are from Walmart's kids section, so just saying.
Yeah, that was one of the best New Year's posts I've seen.
Well, thank you. We had a really fun time that night.
A few fizzy waters.
Yeah, a few fizzy waters.
I just stuck to my bourbon. I didn't have any champagne. If I start mixing, if I'm drinking multiple things, I'll be sick. I got it.
Game
If I'm
over.
drinking bourbon, I drink bourbon.
Yeah. Bourbon and ice. What's the
Yeah.
bourbon of choice then?
Oh man, that night I was drinking Basil Hayden. Right now I have Jefferson's Ocean, Weller, and Basil Hayden. My current 3 bottles. I like Buffalo Trace. I like
I haven't
Woodford.
had any of these.
You're just drinking Jameson, aren't you?
No, that's just whiskey. That's not bourbon. And that is racist.
Oh, isn't it all whiskey bourbon? Or
No, all bourbons are whiskey, but not all whiskeys are bourbon.
yeah, all bourbon whiskey. So kind of the same thing.
Well, bourbon is what? Malt whiskey.
And it's like a Kentucky thing, which Kentucky's right below Ohio, so we're always.
I'll take whiskey
right
as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Solid spirit.
Definitely.
No, I'm more of a vodka. I'm more of a Grey Goose man.
Just on ice or?
Oh, on ice, just on ice.
Just ice. Oh man.
Chris
cranberry
Jericho's finest drink.
Oh.
Obviously, if you know wrestling, Chris Jericho, you know who Chris Jericho is.
Mhm.
Yeah. He used to drink it on the tour buses with just ice, and they said it never gave him a hangover, and I didn't believe it, so I drank I left about that much of a 70 CL one night just to see, and it's true, it doesn't give you a hangover.
Wow.
Hey, there we go.
Hashtag winning.
I ruined vodka for myself at a very young age. Whenever I started drinking, for my first time as a teenager, it was vodka, and of course, now if I taste it or smell it, it still makes me go.
It's vodka that you probably stole from your parents, was it?
I don't remember. It was my friends. I was never the one that brought it. I was always just either at the party or at my friend's house, and they were always the ones that just had it.
Nice, nice. Well, I've been getting certain off licenses since I was 14, so that's how old I looked.
I
was never an issue.
I think I was like 17 or so when I had my first drink.
Oh yeah, so you have to wait till 21.
Sure.
I do forget that you have to wait till 21. We're only 18.
Yeah.
So
for you, it's probably a little easier because it was like, oh yeah, maybe he's just a young 18. It'll be fine.
Well, no, at 14, my beard was down to here.
At 14?
Yeah. I've had a beard. I've had a beard since I was 12.
18.
Yeah. I legit had a beard since I was 12.
Wow.
What?
I don't have much on the top, but
that was the opposite. Yeah, I got all this, but I'm 30 and I still barely have chest hair.
Yeah, no, I've got all chest hair too. I'm 33 and I don't have any hair, so I wouldn't worry about it. Do you want to know how to do you want to know how to lose your hair? Have kids. That's how you lose your hair.
Well, we got a cat.
We have a cat.
He's pretty stressful.
That's worse. That's worse.
Oh,
no way.
I am not a cat person.
He tears us up every once in a while.
I am not a cat person at all.
I like dogs and cats. Cats are just easier for.
I'm a cat person.
When we
I'm turning into one.
Albeit my 5-year-old is pretty much a cat. Like if you walked in and seen her bed now, she's got cat bed covers on. She's got toy cats, fucking cat teddy bear.
Oh no, you're gonna have to get a cat soon. She's gonna be like next year for Christmas. She'll be like, "Come on, Dad, can we get a cat for Christmas?"
Yeah, we did. We got her one this year, a little robot one.
A robot one, nice.
Yep.
That's only gonna stave her off for so long.
Yeah, she's gonna find a stray one in the backyard and bring it in the house.
Except we live on the 3rd floor of an apartment block, and you're not allowed to have cats in the apartment.
Oh yeah.
Perfect excuse. You're like, we're never moving out of this complex. We're here forever.
We were legitimately told when we moved in, you can't have large breeds of dogs, you can't have cats, and you can't have large breeds of reptiles.
Just only small dogs, huh?
Just small dogs and small reptiles. So what?
Well, I mean, I could buy a snake and it'll stay small for a while.
Yeah.
But I don't want to hold just too long because obviously you have the afternoon and you're going for dinner, or getting dinner, or someone's getting
we have
dinner.
time. you have any other questions or want to talk about anything else? We have time.
No, just before we finish up, then, have you got anything else upcoming that you can announce or talk about without getting in trouble?
Yeah,
Obviously, some movies have DNSs or whatever they're called.
Yeah, for sure, you can keep an eye out for more shorts from us, Simpatico Pictures, and also our first feature this year, knock on wood, let's make this happen. Also, starting next week, I'm shooting a movie that's called Terror in the Morgue. It's a feature shooting here in Atlanta at Digital Thunderdome. Also, the Forge Creek Recordings is going to be filming later this year. And I don't know if you want to announce the other one yet. Oh, yeah. Also, Bad Apples. I'm in that movie as well. Shooting that with Better Morris Pictures in June, I believe.
Do you actually have any time off? Because this is just movie after movie after movie here.
We try to keep it busy.
Yeah.
We love it more than
you have to.
Because we get time off, then we have to go back to working at a restaurant or something. Maybe the only way to stay afloat in indie horror is you just got to keep going, keep finding things to work on.
Yeah.
I mean, it helps though. I suppose there's probably good money working in restaurants though.
Yeah, yes and no, but it's depressing.
I don't doubt it. I worked in retail and stuff for a long time, and I work in the civil service over here. I work for the government now, and I'm just like, nope, never going back.
People are not very nice. Please, guys, be nice to service workers, because I mean, we're just doing our best to help.
There's two types of people in the world that you shouldn't piss off: people that serve you your food and people that make your food.
Yeah.
Truth.
otherwise, you might see some horrific scenes.
Yes.
Albeit, I do feel sorry for servers because they take the blunt end of it.
It's true. Even if it's not.
Yeah, I've been at fault for doing it as well because I get pissed off, but I usually apologize towards the end of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I started bartending a couple years ago. I haven't had to in the last almost year now, just because I've become a freelance filmmaker, which is what I've been trying to become for a while. So being able to pay the bills, making films and doing stuff has been nice. So I hope I don't have to go back to bartending, but at least I have that skill.
What we're putting out there is, if he needs to go back, some bar hire him, please.
Yeah.
For sure. But no, yeah, we have one short film. It's called Code Dead. It's a comedy horror micro short, another like 3-minute kind of horror skit that we made.
I'm intrigued.
It just played at Horror Hound up in Indianapolis with Phantom Fun World. And it's playing, we didn't submit it to too many festivals, but it's playing at Days of the Dead here in Atlanta at the end of this month. So at the end of January, it'll play at Days of the Dead. Is that the Romero one? I'm sorry?
Is that the Romero Film Festival?
Gosh, I don't know if it's run by them or not. Is
it the one based on Romero's Day of the Dead? That zombie one?
I don't think
so, because it's not just a film festival, it's like a convention. Yeah. It's a horror convention that like a lot of celebrities go to, like celebrity signings and stuff like that, but they have a film festival attached to it. So if you haven't heard of Days of the Dead, I would definitely check it out.
It's really fun. It hits a couple different cities here in the States.
They have it in like Los Angeles. They have it in Indianapolis. Vegas, right? Chicago, Atlanta.
Yeah.
I think that's all of them.
But yeah, our movie's playing there, and then also Phantom's playing there, so gonna go rep that as well.
Yeah. The 26th through the 28th in Atlanta is when that's happening of this month. So once our short film Code Dead plays there, then we're gonna release it online on YouTube, probably on January like 29th or 30th.
Yeah.
So that'll be our.
Send it to me and I'll share it out for you.
Yeah,
please
you will.
Do. Thank you.
It'll be the first time you get to see me as a masked killer. I played the masked killer in it.
Yes, 80s style. We know who the killer is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you in it, Celeste?
I am not, but I'm there helping with makeup.
The special effects makeup she did. Yeah.
I mean, at least then no one can say, "Oh well, he did that." Just where it's meant to be in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another one that was kind of just. I remember you were actually at work the day.
Yeah.
Me and
Still
some
working at the
friends.
restaurant
Yeah,
back then.
me and some friends were just hanging out at the apartment, and I had this random idea to do like a horror joke. We took the classic trope of like you're running from the very slow killer, but he still catches up to you, and then
Hate that trope.
and yeah, and then you've so we make fun of it. So you
So
might like that
yeah,
we're making fun of
it's
it,
literally just
Like,
and then
a
we
big joke. It's like it's just the punchline basically.
yeah, it's the punchline, and we modernized the whole like fumbling with your keys trying to get into your house when the killer's behind you and you can't unlock the door. So it's that trope that we made a joke, and it was just me and a few friends that were just like, you guys want to film something tonight? Well, here's this idea. Okay, let's film it. And then I call her up. I'm like, what time do you get off work? We're making movies. And she's like, crap.
I'm like, I'm hurrying.
I'll be there.
So she showed up and then ended up doing the special effects makeup that I think it was like her idea that we just spontaneously added in. It wasn't part of the, once you watch it, you'll know what we're talking about. But it was kind of a improv filming coming up with like
I slightly was joking, but I'm glad I joked about it because we ended up running with it, and I think it really added to the humor.
Yeah, it makes it really funny. Like as we were filming it, we didn't know how it was going to end. We were just kind of filming it, and we were like, "Oh, we'll figure it out." And ended up getting into 2 film festivals, and we're like, "Oh, okay, people like it." So.
It's up for best micro short, I think.
Yeah, we're nominated for an award at Days of the Dead. So I'm like, "Holy crap!" Well, that's kind of cool.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, even just being nominated must be something. You know what I mean? For something that you're going with a couple of the lads.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. So yeah, we got that. We have the feature that we mentioned we produced last year called The House Among the Trees. It is a crime thriller with some horror aspects to it. That's in post-production, but you can see the trailer on YouTube for House Among the Trees. That's not a Simpatico Pictures YouTube trailer, but if you go to iFry Productions, it's one of the co-production companies on it. It's on that channel, so you can see the House Among the Trees trailer. And then hopefully we have it finished in 2024, and it might hit the festival circuit in 2024, maybe 2025, and then probably be released in 2025, I would assume. But who knows? Things might happen sooner than that. So that's probably and then the things that she mentioned that she's acting in coming up here.
And then a feature that we will announce eventually that we're acting in. I assume, maybe.
I don't know what she's talking about. But apparently I'm acting.
That sounds dodgy.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That sounds absolutely dodgy. Folks, you heard that here? That's the dodgiest thing we've heard on this show yet.
Yeah.
They're talking about making homemade iPhone videos, and now they're whispering about movies that he didn't even know he was going to be in.
Now that she whispered it to me, now I know. Yeah. Actually, a co-writer on it now.
Yep.
It's a script that I'm not actually even sure. I don't know where my phone is. I'd have to look up the film page to see who they've announced.
Yeah.
But a couple of people that you're familiar with are involved in it, and the director-writer had sent me the original version of the script that he wanted to have rewritten a little bit or worked some of the kinks out. Nice. So the other day I actually did the revision, and I'm waiting on him to give me some notes on it. So once we have a script locked in, they'll probably start making announcements and stuff. So we've actually already shot the opening scene. We shot the opening scene, and they're going to use that to get some funding for it.
Nice.
With some people that are in it.
Some people I know. That's a lot of people, I'd imagine.
Some people that we've talked about on this podcast.
Yeah.
What I'll do is we'll finish it out there. And we'd absolutely love to have you back on. Anytime, even if it wasn't about anything that you're doing, if you want to come on and just chat horror, we'd love to have you back.
For sure.
Sometimes the second episode's easier because you can just absolutely wing it and go yeah, let's talk shit about this movie or that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you can get some of the hottest takes you'll ever get on certain films from me that some people get really pissed off with.
Yeah. You know, we got.
Yeah.
I know you're going to go and watch some of the short films that we already have posted. Where there's some where she's the killer. There's some where she gets killed. And we have new ones coming out every month. So if you ever get to watch them all and you want to ask us any questions, yeah, we'd love to come back on and talk about those.
Absolutely. Maybe even if we give it a couple of months when you get a couple more released.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I actually get to catch up because the amount of stuff that I just get sent to watch, and I'm like, I was like, oh, how am I going to find the time for this?
Yeah.
Working through, sitting up to like 2 in the morning going, right, time to go to bed now. And then I'll put something else on and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, that's why ideally with our short films, we want to try to keep them around like 15 minutes or less. Like, I don't think I'd make a short film.
I did notice the Wonderland Diner, I think I seen just pop up there on YouTube before we started. It was, I think, 15 and a half, is it? Something like that.
Yeah, so Wonderland Diner is about 6 minutes, and then Susie Q, Where Are You is about 15 and a half.
Oh, sorry, Susie Q is the one there. Yeah, 15 and a half.
Yeah. So that's probably about as long as a short film is going to get for us.
Yeah.
If you're going to make anything longer than that, you might as well just save it for a future.
I would agree. I think the only other short that I've watched that's longer than that was Eva Hamilton and Stacey Nelkin in the Shed from Mount Cat's production. That was one of the best shorts I've seen ever. It was awesome. Yeah. But I want to take the time out now just to thank you for coming on and telling us all about what you have done and what you have upcoming. Obviously, it's mid-afternoon for yourselves. That Korean restaurant probably isn't even open yet.
It's perfect timing.
Yeah.
At least everything would be fresh.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe, hopefully.
We're coming full circle back to the Korean.
Yes.
Or it could be like fresh and you get human meat.
Oh gosh.
That worked well, didn't it? I got that one in there. The horror puns are real. But what I'll do is, folks, this has been Jake and Celeste from Simpatico Pictures. Make sure and go and give them a like and a follow on Instagram and YouTube and stuff where you find all their shorts. You'll find the link in the bio below. And check out everything they've been in because it's been fucking awesome.
Thank you, man.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having us.
It's been a pleasure having you on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to finish out this episode the way I finish out every single Friday night. In the words of the great George A. Romero, ladies and gentlemen, stay scared.